What if what you're fighting in your child or the next person around you is what you never healed from as a mom? Now, the thing is that most of us as moms, we keep on fighting everyone. You fight your child and you tell your child, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? What if those things you're fighting your child for are the things you never healed from? What if those things are those traumas you never healed from? So, as a mom, we must learn to break generational patterns. We must learn to break these patterns without breaking ourselves. What are those patterns that you're carrying on that is not serving you? And the thing with these patterns is that sometimes it doesn't show up. Most times it shows up in the times we least expected. It shows up in the time we never, probably when you're stressed, when you're exhausted, that is when this pattern shows up. Now, most of us as moms, we keep on saying things like, oh, my parent did this, but I'm not going to do this. I'm going to act in a different way. Oh, this person did this, but I'm going to act in a different way. But we find out that when we are under stress, when we are exhausted, when we are not in the right frame of mind to make the right decision, old reactions begin to surface. When you're under stress, your tone changes. Those things you say you're not going to say, you start to say them. When you're under stress, you lose control. Why? Because we've not dealt with the things we are meant to deal with in ourselves. When you're under stress, you shut down emotionally. And sometimes you yell, you do things that you will not be proud of yourself later on in life. Why is this? Because there are so many things we need to heal from as moms. There are so many things we need to go deep down within ourselves and say, how can I heal so I don't pass this negative circle to my children or to the people God has blessed and sent to me? And the truth is that breaking circles sounds powerful, but it's personal. You have to make the right decision. You have to tell yourself that it's my responsibility to break any negative circle and not pass it down to my children. Now, most of us unconsciously are passing down negative circle to our children. Most of us are passing down negative habits to our children. It comes out in subtle ways. You might not realize it, but subtly, that is what you are doing. So, what we need to do today is to sit down with ourselves and ask this question: what are those negative patterns I inherited, probably from my environment, probably from the things I heard while I was growing up, probably from social media, probably from my parents? What are those things I heard that are not serving me, that I am unconsciously passing down to my child or to my children? We have to go deep down and ask ourselves this question, because for us to solve any problem, we have to be aware of the problem first. For us to heal, we have to be aware of the trauma done to us or the damage that we've done to ourselves or that was done to us by virtue of the things we heard while we are growing or our environments. So we must be conscious to pass down positive circles. We must be conscious to pass down positive patterns to our children. So, what kind of pattern are you passing down to your children? Now, I'm going to take us to the story in the Bible in Second Timothy, the story of Eunice. The Bible speaks of the unique faith of Eunice that was passed down to Timothy. Now, we can see clearly that Eunice passed down faith to Timothy. Now, she did not pass down confusion. She did not pass down negative patterns to him. She did not pass down something different or negative. She passed down something good, something positive. We have to draw our lesson from this simple story and sit down with ourselves and ask these serious questions. What am I passing down to my children? What am I passing down to my generation? Will I be proud tomorrow when I see my grandchildren exhibit the fruit of what I passed down to my children? Will I be proud tomorrow to see my children acting out in ways they are going to act out later on in life? So we must make the conscious decision, the conscious effort to break the negative patterns we've inherited from the people that raised us or from our environment and tell ourselves, no, it ends with me. You can tell yourself as a mom, no, it ends with me in this family. I would not say, I'm not going to transfer negative patterns. I'll rather transfer positive patterns. And the truth is that these negative patterns can be different things for different people because we all come from different backgrounds. Some people, it could be the negative pattern of fear. For some people, it could be the negative pattern of anger. For some people, it could be the negative pattern of anything that is just negative. It could be negative pattern of lack of communication. We all know where we are coming from. So we need to sit down and ask ourselves, what are those negative patterns I have inherited? And we have to tell ourselves that it ends with us. Our responsibility, our duty is to pass down positive patterns. That is what we have been called to do. You are called as a mom to pass down positive patterns to your children. You are called as a mom to pass down the patterns that God will be happy with tomorrow in your children, and not to continue the cycle of passing on negative things to your children. So, in practical ways, what can we do to break this cycle of negative pattern? Number one, you must identify the pattern. So, what is that negative pattern in your home or in your family? Or those negative patterns you've inherited from probably your parents or from their environment. As I said earlier, it could be anger. It could be the pattern of silence without expressing yourself, in the right way. It could be the pattern of control, having control, wanting to control everybody and everything. It could be the pattern of fear. What are those patterns of yours that you've identified that is not serving you? You must identify to be able to deal with it. The second thing we can do is to ask, when do I react instead of respond? So we are called to respond. We are called to be responsible for our actions and not to react. So you need to sit down with yourself and ask yourself, when do these patterns come out? Is it when I'm tired? When I am hungry? When I'm exhausted? When I don't have money? When I'm out of work? When I'm frustrated? When do these patterns start to show themselves or exhibit themselves? We have to also identify it. Then the other thing we can do is to replace our reaction with intentional practice. Replace those reaction of yours, the way you react when you feel when these patterns come up. Start to prepare your mind ahead of time and tell yourself you're going to be intentional with what you do. You're going to be intentional with not transferring these negative patterns to your children. You're going to be intentional to transfer the positive patterns to your children. So, for example, if it's the pattern of anger, before the anger crops or before you start to get angry or when you start to feel your body, making like you're getting angry, you intentionally tell yourself that you are calm, you're going to manage your emotions. You start to put in systems that will help you to handle that negative pattern. So we have to intentionally plan ahead of time how to deal with that pattern, how to be intentional with your action, such that when those patterns come up, when they show up, even in your stressful moments, you're prepared on how best to answer them. Then we must remember what the Bible says in Romans. We should not be conformed to the standard of this world, but we must be transformed by the renewal of our mind. So one of the ways we can also break negative patterns is by renewing our minds on a daily basis. We are called to renew our minds on a daily basis. When you do that, you find there'll be a difference. You will no longer transfer those negative things to your children. You find out that you want to transfer the positive things to your children. So we must remember, you cannot change what you do not confront. If you don't confront your fears, if you don't confront these negative patterns, you cannot change it. So you must confront it to change it. Then we must heal as parents. We must heal as moms if we want to raise children that are whole. If we want to raise children that will be healed. If we want to raise children that will be free. And the truth is that you don't break this circle in one day. It's a journey, it's a process. It's you carrying out these intentional choices and action on a daily basis. And the truth is that you can break this negative pattern by making a conscious decision to break this pattern. When you tell yourself it ends with me, it does end with you. Thank you very much for joining me today. I believe you've gotten value for joining us today, value for your time. My name is Chioma Odikolo. Please remember to like this video, share this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel at the Confidence Mom Academy. We're also on Facebook and Instagram at the Confidence Mom Academy. Till I come your way next time, do have a great day and bye.